Hi, I'm SYAHIRAH, and NURUL AIN will be presenting about one of regional economy integration that we choose, which is European Union. But before we go more details about it, let's take a look about what we will discuss first. So, what we will discuss is overview of regional integration, the key characteristic, impact the agreement on trade, effect the agreement trade, benefit, challenges, potential future development, and also the conclusion. The overview of regional economic integration. What does it mean by regional integration? Simply say, it's a deal between countries that usually involve lowering or getting rid of trade barriers and coordinating their monetary and fiscal policies. And the monetary is relating to money or currency, while fiscal policies means that tax that government charge, including rules and policies. So more specifically, economic integration typically leads to reduction in the cost of trade, improve availability of goods and service, and a wider selection of them, and gains in efficiency that leads to greater purchasing power. The aim for this economic integration is to reduce cost of both consumer and producer, and to increase trade between the countries involved in the agreement. So when regional economy agree on integration, trade barriers falls and economic and political coordination increase. So under regional economy integration, we will discuss more specifically about European Union. What is meant by European Union? So European Union is under regional integration, and the European Union has its roots in economic integration, and the European Union is a group of 27 countries in Europe and include Germany, France, United Kingdom, Italy, Spain, Romania, and others. These countries come together to make things better, easier, and safer to people, and they agree to work together and help each other. The idea to make the European Union come after two big wars happened in Europe, and countries in Europe saw that this is better to work together than fighting against each other. So the goal is to bring countries together for everyone economic, social and safety good. So they have some objectives to achieve that drive them to establish this formation of agreement, and there is an endless list of motivation factor and also reason behind the various evolution it at stake. But a huge part of it is peace, and the beginning of the cooperation is starting after the conflict, which is Second World War. And after what they went through as a result of the war, they want to make Europe a harmonious country where people are free to move and there is no unrest. That is the top motivation behind the formation of agreement. And the European Union goals are to safeguard peace, uphold its value, and improve the life of its people. And other objectives include establish in economic and monetary union, whose currency is the euro, to protect and improve the quality of the environment, promote social justice and protection, equality between women and men, and protect the right of the child, to establish an internal market and also achieve sustainable development based on balanced economic growth and price stability on a highly competitive market with full employment and social progress.
Thank you, Ummu. We continue the next slide, which is a key characteristic Europa Union. Four key: first, democracy, which is every adult EU citizen has the right to register to vote and to run for the office in the Europa Parliament, and EU nationals are eligible to run for the office and cast in their country of residence or their country of origin. Next key character, which is a rule of the law. The Europa Court of the Justice was granted final jurisdiction by the EU member state, and all patients must by its rulings. Next characteristic, which is the human rights. They include the right of the protection in your personal data, the right to access justice, and the right to be free from on the basis of your race or origin or belief, disability, age, or sexual orientation. Last key characteristic, which is freedom. Freedom of the movement, given the right to move and residence, which the union include freedom as respect for privacy life, freedom of the regulation, assembly, expression, and information are protection by the EU Charter of the Fundamental Right. Next slide, which is impact the agreement on trade. To impact the trade effect of EU membership and the trade effect on EU engagement. Membership has been analysed in the past, which allow us to compare the reason with priority student. The average trade effect of the EU membership is 148%, according to our choose new gold standard criteria. The anticipated average post-trade impact of EU membership increases from 93 to 148% when we compare the finding from our two primary models. The case of the EU, talking 10 years pace in effect and a 5-year anticipate effect into the account due to significantly the outcomes. The effect after the 10 years in the 139% in our new gold standard specification, 112% increase in the priority gold standard. Next impact, which is the enlargement. 7 impact of the enlargement 1933 until 2030 years contribute to the development of the EU that exists today with 28 member states. According to our gold standard criteria, commons between the EU and the members expected by between 30 and 190% to 6 of the 7 rounds of EU enlargement. This is a graph 9A. In 1981, Greece acceded to the EC. It is a member of the Schengen and entered the Edison in 2001. The major gold standard resolution show the Greece membership had so statistically significant impact on the commons between Greece and the 9 EC members at the time. This is a graph 9B. With the entry of the Spain and Portugal, the EU its second pace in the 1986 years. The two country trade policy situation were substantially different between the Spain had never signed to trade agreement with the EC, whereas Portugal was one the EFTA members that had gone so in 1973. The expert ranks in track for all four criteria range from 57 to 110%, with 100% being the higher estimate. Next, graph 9C. In 1995, Switzerland, Finland, and Australia became member of the EU. The three nations, like Portugal in the 1986, have had individual free state agreement with the EU since 1973. The new gold standard estimate state that the access increased commerce between Switzerland, Finland, Australia, and the EU by an average of 30%. According of the former gold standard method, the impact is higher and 85%. The final two specifications show respectively an 81% increase and effect. Next, graph 9D. The 2004 engagement with countries from Central and Eastern Europe and the Mediterranean, 10 new member states to the EU, Poland, the Czech Republic, Hungary, and so on. Next, graph 9E. In 2007, Bulgaria and Romania acceded to the EU. Some restriction on the freedom of movement in the some all member states were maintained until the end of 2040, and both countries remain outside Schengen and the Eurozone. Bulgaria is scheduled to join the Europa in 2022 or 2023. Next, graph 9F. Croatia became the second former Yugoslav republic to join the EU in 2030. Croatia was recently given the green light by the Europa Commission to join exchanging and included to join the Europa in 2022 or 2023. Last graph, which is a 9G, to the new gold standard estimate trend between the EU and Croatia increased by 190% as the result accession. The strong result is the particularly notable because the post-term period is only 5 years, which is 2013 until 2017. Next slide, which is the flow influencing trend. Two factors, which is the measurement of culture distance and the effect of the culture distance on track. First, measure of the cultural distance, which is used for variable to the construct a measure of their culture, trust, respect, control, and obedience. Trust is the percentage of the respondents who agree that most people can build the trust. A higher level of the trust in another can reduce transaction costs, which increase a people's ability and willingness in international trade. A society that this quality may be a society that discourage restocking and engage in fewer external transaction. If trade is based on advantage comparison, the greater difference between people will allow for greater gain from trade. Next factor, which is the effect of the culture distancing on the trade. The direction of the trade statistics include the information about the export from every country to very another country in the world. The great circle is used to determine the distance. Variable representing EU membership are included along with the conventional gravity variable to determine without trade between the two countries increases or decreases will there are EU member will holding distance and another factor constancy. Next slide, which benefit, challenging, potential future development. First is the benefit future development, which is a 3, encouraging investment, which will support and promoting trade. First, encouraging investment. The Europe also support cross-border investment with the Eurozone. For investors in the country with a different, there is a sizable foreign currency risk which can lead to an inefficient allocation of the capital. Next benefit, which is a mutual support. The theory make it a supplier for the nation using it to one another in a time of need. Large economies typically have that are more volatile because they can display risk more effectively study. Less benefit between promoting trade. With the Europa, companies can easily negotiate the best price with supplier from Eurozone country. The price transparency can competitive business environment in Europa using the country. First challenging, which is erosion of the national partners of an economic union are often forced to follow rules for trade, capital, and policy that are imposed by an elected ruling body. Next challenging, which is employment shift and graduation. Economic integration cause business to move their manufacturing activity to areas of the economic union where costs are lower. Interested worker may move a place with higher and job perspective. Conclusion. The combination of the economic integration with a system of the institution building and democracy has contributed significantly to peace and stability in the EU. Thank you for our present. Last slide, which is the conclusion. The combination of the economy integration with a system of the institution building and democracy has contributed significantly to peace and stability in the EU. Thank you for our present.